Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're here on behalf of the nonprofit EdTech Skill Wanderer,
That's right.
and we're going to be unpacking one of their curriculum modules on something called continuity of quality.
It sounds a little dry, I know. But the core idea is really about timing and maybe more importantly, money.
Okay, so let's start with a really simple question then.
hmm
When does testing actually start?
Right. And see, the module kicks off with this golden rule that I think a lot of people just miss.
Which is,
If you're waiting until the code is completely finished to start testing, you're already way too late. You've basically already failed.
because testing isn't just one phase you get to at the end.
Yeah.
It's an activity.
Exactly. It's an activity that should be happening all the time, in parallel. And Skill Wanderer backs this up with something called the cost of change curve.
I was looking at those numbers. It's that classic 110-100 rule, isn't it?
That's the one. And it's pretty simple when you think about it. If you find a bug in the requirements phase.
So when it's just words on a page.
Right. When it's just a sentence. Fixing it costs, let's say, $1. You just hit backspace.
But if that bad sentence becomes code in the development phase,
Yeah.
now what?
Now it's $10 because you're not just fixing a sentence. You're, untangling logic, rewriting code, and maybe breaking 10 other things while you do it.
And even that is getting off cheap.
Oh, yeah. Because the real nightmare is the production phase. That bug gets out to the actual user. Now the cost is $100 minimum.
And the Skill Wanderer text makes a great point here that the $100 is just the start.
It doesn't even touch the damage to your reputation or losing customer trust. That's the real cost.
Which brings us to the main strategy in this module, which is shift left.
Shift left. It's a great visual. If you imagine your project timeline, requirements on the left, deployment on the right.
You want to push all that quality and testing work as far left as you can.
As early as possible.
Okay, but this is where it gets a bit confusing for me. If I'm all the way over on the left in the requirements phase, there's no software. What am I even testing?
You're testing the idea. You're debugging the logic before it ever becomes code. The module calls it static testing.
So you're not running anything.
Nope, you're just reading. You're looking for ambiguity. The source has that perfect example of a bad requirement. The page should load fast.
Right, which means nothing.
It's useless. Fast for me is different than fast for you. A tester's job there is to immediately flag that, to force a real testable definition.
Like the page must load in under 2 seconds on a 4G connection.
Exactly. Now you have a target. You've just debugged the English before it had a chance to become buggy Python.
I like that. So then in the design phase, the tester becomes the voice of the user.
The voice of the user, or maybe the voice of chaos. They're looking at drawings of the app and asking all the hard questions. What happens if the internet dies right here?
Or what if someone uploads a corrupt file? It's like a preemptive pessimism.
It is. And then you get to development, and there's this huge myth that testers just sit on their hands and wait for code.
But the module says that's prep time.
Crucial prep time.
Yeah.
You should be writing your test cases, creating dummy data, fake users, fake credit card numbers, so you're ready to go.
So the second that first build is ready, you're not scrambling, you're executing.
You're executing. And this is finally where dynamic testing begins. You're actually running the software.
Yeah.
And you always start with a smoke test.
The basic health check.
Yeah. Does the app even launch? Can you log in? If the car won't start, don't waste time checking the radio. You just reject the build.
Don't waste a minute on a fundamentally broken system.
Exactly.
Now, there was one really stark warning in the final phase, deployment, about something called destructive testing.
Yes. This is so important. Destructive testing is when you are deliberately trying to break things, deleting huge chunks of data, overloading the servers.
Things you need to know, but
you never, ever, under any circumstances, do that in the live production environment.
it sounds so obvious, but you hear horror stories.
You really do. Someone testing a delete all users function on the real database. Keep all that chaos in a safe, separate environment.
It all comes back to that first idea, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Quality has to be built in from the very start, not inspected at the very end.
You're trying to stay on the $1 side of that curve. It's about defect prevention, not just defect detection.
So a final thought then for everyone listening. Doesn't matter if you're in tech or not. Think about your own projects. How many fires are you putting out at the end?
Right.
How many of those $100 problems could have been a $1 fix if they were just caught in a conversation right at the beginning?
It's a really powerful lens to look at your own work through.
A huge thank you again to our partners at the nonprofit Skill Wanderer for these materials. We hope this helps you shift your own thinking a little further to the left. We'll see you on the next deep dive.